Welcome into the Beat Sessions. I am your host, Mitchell Weary. I apologize for my absence over the last few days. I've been dealing with a bizarre internet outage. That is finally resolved, though, and so it's excellent to be back with all of you. It's also given me adequate time to listen to this next project that we're going to discuss, OneRepublic's Human. They released that on August 27th. This is their fifth studio album and follows 2016's Oh My My. And OneRepublic is definitely one of those pop outfits that I've grown to appreciate a lot over the last few years. Ryan Tedder especially. His voice is fantastic, and I love the vocal melodies and hooks that he's creating for these songs. And I love the falsetto that he's working with, incorporating that into a lot of these tracks. Their music as well, driven by strong acoustic riffs. I love the upbeat nature of a lot of their songs, great percussion driving that. And they're not afraid to incorporate basically any and all genres into their music. So it certainly makes for a fun listening experience. I love their dynamic style of pop. However, there's two issues that I've noticed about this record that are really just kind of killing it for me. And one is something that has plagued pop music since its inception. The other is something that I've started to notice in the last year or so. That being that there's 12 tracks on this record, 16 if you get the deluxe version. But of the 12 tracks that are featured on this album, 5 have been available to listen to since May of 2021. 2 of those singles go back to 2020, and 2 of them go all the way back to 2019. So ostensibly, a third of this record has already been out for a year at the very least. And it makes it tough to get excited about it. It's fun to listen to a record, to check out a single or two, and to see how an artist or a group is going to incorporate them into the album structure. I love seeing what these songs do to the drive, do to the continuity of a record. But knowing what you're getting with half of the runtime on this thing already is really kind of a bummer. And especially there's bonus tracks Wildlife and Ships and Tides. I think that they should have put those 2 tracks onto the record and swapped out any of these other 2 songs except for Forget About You and Somebody to Love. Those 2 tracks, not released as singles, I think really highlight the more adventurous side of these guys. That leading into the major problem with this record is that their style of music, these songs are super fun to listen to. They're very easy to listen to. They're also very easy to forget. There's nothing on this record really in the 12-song runtime except for Take Care of You and Forget About You that really sunk their hooks into me, that I really felt the need to listen to over and over again. And especially 4 of the first 6 songs before you get those 2 tracks are those singles that have been released already. And so I have to vinyl pass on this thing. As much as I enjoyed listening to it, and as much as I think, Ryan Tedder talks about how this record incorporated any and all things that they were doing on their previous 4 records. It's a great amalgamation of all of those songs, of all that effort. And so if you're a OneRepublic fan, you're more than likely going to enjoy this record. And I definitely recommend checking out those 2 deluxe tracks, Wildlife and Ships and Tides. Phenomenal to listen to. You get more of this adventurous side of a band that I truly think, and especially after Oh My My and after 5 years, was ready to branch out and do something even more adventurous, even more creative. It's just kind of a bummer knowing that when you hit play on this thing that you've basically already listened to half of it. And so, as I said before, I'm going to have to take a vinyl pass on this thing, but that is not to say that I don't think you won't enjoy listening to this record. I definitely recommend giving it a go at the very least and seeing what you think of it. So I hope you find this review helpful. Please like this video and share it, subscribe to the channel, and check out the live show when it returns on September 12th. We'll see you next time on the Beat Sessions.